Hi, welcome to my program. I'm Dr. Cindy Trimm, and thanks for being here with me again today. I want to share with you some truths that have transformed my life and the lives of people all across the globe. Simple understandings that have the radical ability to bring about the changes you've wanted and to position you for greater success and achievement than you ever thought possible. Everybody wants something more, something better in life, whether you want to be happier in your marriage or have a better job or improve your health. We all have areas in our lives we wish was better, greater, and even more powerful. Unfortunately, like most people, you probably feel like you're living in a rut. Well, I've got great news for you. You might say, great news? Dr. Trimm, you just described my entire life. I want things to improve, but I just don't know how to break the cycle. I feel like I'm just stuck in it. What you need is a breakthrough. A breakthrough, you might say. Yes, a breakthrough. Let me explain what it is. A breakthrough is a sudden burst of the anointing or awareness or revelation knowledge that will propel you past things that you thought was impenetrable, those limitations, whether they are things that we have imagined in my mind or the things that are actual. I'm going to show you today how to receive your very own breakthrough and begin experiencing the life that God has purposed you for your life right now, right here, right now. So are you ready? So let's get started. Are you ready to understand how to get your breakthrough? Let me give you some steps. Step number one, evaluate the why. The why. Yep, the why. Have you ever asked yourself the question, why haven't I done the things I wanted to? Have you ever wondered why others seem to get the breaks in life and you were stuck in a dead-end job, a marriage that was over a long time ago, a condition that is debilitating you physically, emotionally, mentally? Why haven't you realized your dream? Or why did you give up your personal power? And why are you feeling as if you're a victim of circumstance? And why do you consider yourself a statistic, a demographic that other people are able to benefit from, but you can't benefit from your own product, a brand called you? Why do you stay in that relationship anyway that frustrates you? And why do you keep eating when you know the steps that you have to take in order to be healthy? I think there's one reason, and that is because you or someone else has convinced you that this is as good as it gets. Why did you buy into that lie that success and happiness are just for storybooks, or there is no happy ever after? And if it's not one thing, it's another. And why have you given up your dreams anyway? And why have you given up your personal power so that someone else can decide your destiny? Why have you done this? I believe that right now, you could be closer to your breakthrough when you understand that I also am in the same position when I recognize that God was drawing me to a secret place. Wow, Dr. Trimm, really? I mean, I thought you were going to come out blazing with this big revelation. It is big. Because if you do the same, you're going to get the same. And sometimes you've got to center yourself by taking some me moments. Most of us take those me moments on the telephone with people who don't know where they're going, and then you're asking them how to get to where you want to go. If people don't know where they're going, they cannot help you to find out how to get where you're going. And so I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to challenge you to have a Jacob experience. Jacob had to leave his family. He had to leave the familiar. It was for a short time. He had to take some me moments and wrestle. He wrestled with himself. He wrestled with the why. then, I think also many of us are afraid of aloneness because we get aloneness mixed up with loneliness. There is a difference, Loneliness is the absence of people. Aloneness is the absence of purpose. And this is the big why. If you know the why, then you can overcome any how. Now, in this place that I call the secret place, you can't take anybody else with you. You got to go there alone. Just like the patriarch Jacob in the Bible had to wrestle with his personal issues. I always say, could things be the way they are because you are the way you are? And what one thing can you change that can change everything? You could change how you think about the whole issue of being alone. Now, when it comes to breakthrough, there's a second step. And that step takes you from the why to why not. Why not me? And why not now? Listen, if God can bless one and give one person a breakthrough, and especially if you read the Bible like I read, I see some people in the Bible that are not as bright as many of us here, and maybe not as moral, but somehow they got their breakthrough. They had less technology, they had less comfort, they had less information, they didn't have the internet, for goodness sake, but yet they ascended into a place in God where their breakthrough was secure. My next step is, why not? Ask yourself, why not? Why not me? Why not now? I want you to stay tuned, because we're going to give you some tools that are going to help you to get your breakthrough. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's talk about the word breakthrough for a moment. Have you ever heard these terms? Medical breakthrough, an aha moment, critical mass, the light bulb came on, overcame, surmount, surpass. Well, those are terms we use to describe a breakthrough. Breakthroughs come when you continue to pursue a specific course, never giving up. A breakthrough comes when you refuse to accept the status quo, when you refuse to take no for an answer, and you keep on knocking, and you keep on pounding the pavement, when you refuse to be a victim of circumstances. A breakthrough comes when you realize that you don't have to be a product of your environment, and when you realize that you have the power to change your life, and that light bulb goes off, or you get some information, and you said, boy, I should have had a V8 juice. That's our aha moment. That comes when you realize that, with God, nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible. You can begin again. You can believe God again. You can trust again. You can be successful. You can overcome your addictions. You can heal. You can feel alive again. This is when you realize that those things are possible. You are getting a breakthrough. So I want to encourage you right now. Don't give in. Go for it. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. And even if your back is up against the wall, even if you are on the ropes and you are receiving a rope-a-dope financially, listen, you got to fight back. You don't get in life what you want, you get what you fight for. And when you decide that my future, my health, my marriage, my freedom, my happiness, my joy, my peace, my children is worth fighting for, you are securing your breakthrough. Breakthrough also comes through prayer. You've got to be able to act and pray. So let me just talk a little bit about prayer. When it comes to praying, you got to be able to fight for what you want too. I call it putting prayer pressure on heaven. Keep on asking, keep on knocking, keep on wrestling. God has an answer and he wants to give it to you. And it's going to show up. It might show up when you're watching TV like now. It might show up when you're listening to your favorite music and you might have that aha moment. It may show up with someone just walking up to you and say, hey, you got to get this book called Commanding Your Morning or Prayer Warrior's Way, something that Trimm wrote. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But I want to let you know that breakthroughs are not reserved just for the bright or the wealthy. Anyone can receive a breakthrough. Thomas Edison epitomizes to me someone who understood the whole concept of breakthrough. Edison made this amazing quote. He said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to try just one more time." And he qualifies to make that statement because he attempted to invent this light bulb about 10,000 times. There are some people that say 1,000, some people that said 10,000. Either way, that's a whole lot of experiments to say, I'm never going to give up on creating a light bulb. And first he had to convince people that he wasn't out of his mind. Can you imagine when he said, I'm going to create a light bulb, and all the voices around him say, what's a light bulb? We already have the sun, we already have candles, we already have lanterns. What is a light bulb? One of the things you have to understand is this, that when God gives you a desire, usually that desire is not just about you. It's about impacting the world around you, your family. So take those desires seriously. I don't know why Thomas felt like I want to be an inventor and create a light bulb, but thank God he did, because you would not be looking at my face on TV today had he not persisted until he succeeded. And that's what it takes to get a breakthrough. And so I want to say bravo, Thomas Edison, for pushing beyond that feeling that says you got to give up. Where did that feeling come from anyway? Here's the next step. Pay attention to those things that we call desires. A desire? Absolutely. Here is the power of the why. Why do you feel like you should go back to school? And why do you feel like I got to write this book? Why? You've got to understand that the desires that you had are given by God himself. Absolutely, absolutely true. The desire that you desire, when you desire, the desire is the desire that God desired for you to desire so that he can give you that desire. Can you imagine what the world would be like if the Wright brothers didn't desire to fly? Here's what they said about the Wright brothers. I mean, it'll be something if God wanted to have man flying, he would have given man wings. Do not listen to the naysayers. If you are going to have a breakthrough, you've got to be able to silence the negative voices. That's the next step, and that's the next secret. Many of us have too many people speaking into our ears. I just call these people abortionists. So you've got to be careful. Your dreams, your visions, your desires, especially those that have been God-given, I want you to pursue them. I want you to believe that all things are possible. It is possible for you to go back to school. It is possible for you to heal your relationship. It is possible for you to go at life alone. It is possible. When you learn the why, when you are able to persist until you proceed, when you are able to find that me moment, that place where you and God have that conversation, and trust me, his minds and thoughts are far bigger than yours. And when you are able to say, look, this desire that is on the inside of me, I don't know where that desire came from. And if it's bigger than life, 9 times out of 10, it came from God. I want you to understand that breakthrough is possible. Don't touch that dial, because I want to give you some more secrets to living a successful life. I'll be right back.
Join Dr. Cindy Trimm for these next live appearances.
Well, welcome back. What if I told you that your breakthrough is closer than you can ever imagine? Whenever we talk about breakthrough, we talk about change. And God changes us by changing our paradigm. A paradigm is a word that we throw around, but I just want you to think about it as the way we think about things, the way we chew over information and spit it back out as application in our own life. A paradigm is a pattern of thinking. It's your context through which you are able to process information that you receive. So if your context is wrong, your conclusion is wrong. So when we talk about changing your paradigm, we're talking about you making the mental shift. And when you change the way you look at things, things begin to change the way they look, including your life. And so when your paradigm is altered, so is your worldview. I asked the question, could things be the way they are because you are the way you are, and what one thing can you change that can change everything? Guess what? You can change your mind. You can alter your paradigm. And when you alter your paradigm, you are able to change everything associated with you. That is how you deal with situations, your work, your relationships, anything that may be undermining or sabotaging you from fulfilling your purpose, from progressing and realizing your dreams. One of the things I've learned also is so many people give way to the pressure without. Don't give into that pressure, but give yourself time. Time to do what, you might say? Give yourself time to think. Do you not know that you can think for a change, and you can think through and out of anything that you're going through, especially when you think the thoughts of God? He said, I know the thoughts I think towards you, thoughts of good, not of evil, to bring you to expected end. Changing the way you think allows you to align yourself with the blessings that God has already placed in your life. It gives you the ability to access the empowerment that is present from within you. One of the texts from out of the book of 2 Samuel is just so provocative in chapter number 5. David now is wearing the crown. He's had years of fighting, and he's also had years of breakthrough. But here was his last major breakthrough as he was fighting a battle with the Philistines. From the text, you can see that he had to fight many battles to finally overcome. One of the major things that I saw was this, that there was something that was standing in his way. But because he did not have any fear, and he understood that his strength came from within, and because he learned not to give his personal power away, he was able to possess his possession. He was able to see the manifestation of the blessings that God had prepared for him, and it lied just beyond the last battle. This could be the last battle that you are fighting. Some people talk about the last straw, but I like to talk about the last battle, the last obstacle. Sometimes we give in too soon. I found out and discovered that successful people start where failures stop. Do not stop. Do not give in. Fight one more time. And then if you would just take this philosophy to heart, that I'm going to do it one more time. And all you have to do is do that every single day of your life, and you will find out that you will prosper. Now, the word prosperity is often associated with money and with things, but prosperity is having the divine enablement to overcome obstacles. I've always said that there are no obstacles except those that we construct in our mind. And when we stop constructing those obstacles in your mind, there's going to be no obstacles. So prosperity is having the divine enablement to overcome. And when you overcome, you are always in a better state, a superior state, a more successful state, a wealthier state than before you had overcome. That means that your life could get better and better and sweeter as the days go by, as you apply the principles for overcoming. David had a breakthrough. And he not only had one kind of breakthrough, he had several kinds of breakthrough. And these are the ones that I want to talk to you about today. Number one, he had a breakthrough in his relationships. Right now, I'm smiling and I'm hoping that everyone could see this word. We listen. Many of you text and you called and you tweeted and you Facebooked and you said, Dr. Trimm, I want to see those words. And so we did something about it, and I hope you like it. And keep your comments coming, because we really want to do life with you. David had to have a breakthrough in his relationship. As you are aware, and some of you may not be, but he came from a dysfunctional family. He was the black sheep of the family. There are so many other kinds of family dynamics that we have to overcome. Some of you are overcoming rejection. Some of you are overcoming even things like abuse or misuse, or some of you are trying to figure out, okay, in my relationships, whether it be my family or in my marriage, or even the relationship that I have with other people, how can I overcome my relational hurdles, and how can I receive a breakthrough relationally? Well, it starts with you. When you have a good relationship with yourself and a good relationship with God is going to begin to translate into the relationships that you have with others. Here's what the Bible says: love yourself and then others. You're able to love others to the degree you're able to love yourself. And so overcoming relationships first starts, and having your breakthrough first starts with the relationships that you have with yourself. Secondly, he had to overcome cultural obstacles. And in his cultural obstacle, you remember the story of David and Goliath. Well, Goliath represents all the cultural and social and all of the economic barriers and boundaries that we have constructed in our minds that make us feel as if, look, I can't do any better than what I am doing today. So what I want you to do is find your proverbial 5 smooth stones and run towards the very thing that threatens to prohibit you from obtaining your dreams and your goals, so that you can have a breakthrough there. And then he had to overcome things in his profession. So these are professional. So many people are working in hostile environments, or where people are undermining you. One of the things I want you to do is to understand that when we talk about breakthrough, it's not just one dimension. You can have a breakthrough in all areas of your life. How do you do that, Dr. Cindy? When you align your thoughts with destiny and with the will of God. When you claim the promises of God, you will experience breakthroughs not only in one area, but you will experience breakthroughs professionally, culturally, socially, economically, physically, psychologically, in your relationships, in every area of your life. I want you to have a breakthrough. I want you to awaken to the blessings that are already yours. And once you do, those connections to your past, those things that have held you back, will all be powerless over you. God has so much more for your life than just merely existing or being stuck in a rut or simply following the same old path, thinking the same old thing. It's time for you to experience the type of life that God always had available for you. It's time for your breakthrough. Breaking through those barriers that held you back for so long, so that you can discover the abundance you were created for. I want you to hear me. You are unstoppable. You are powerful. Now you might say, okay, Dr. Trimm, that all sounds good, but I don't feel all that powerful and I don't feel unstoppable. Well, that's because you you haven't yet activated what I'm teaching you today. You've been fed lies so often. It's going to take you intentionally renewing your mind and renewing your thoughts. I've discovered it takes over 13 times or about 13 times to hearing and meditating on a revelation so that it can take hold and take root and shift your thinking. So now, you need this breakthrough message so that you can continue the process you started today, so that you can shift that paradigm you've lived with for so long that you call normal. It's not normal, it's abnormal. You were created for prosperity and success, and it's your time to break through. You can have breakthrough power that comes from the revelation knowledge if you are ready to change and embrace it. And if you are ready for that change to truly break through to the next level in your life, then I want you to watch this.
Do you feel like life is working against you, as if you're boxed in on every side, and no matter how hard you work, you always seem to end up right where you started? Are you ready to escape the rut and routine that's defined your life and take it to the next level? Instead of spending hours and energy to maintain your life where it is, Dr. Cindy Trimm will unlock the keys you need to get your life moving again and to accelerate you on your path to destiny. It's time for you to know what it's like to experience deeper relationships, greater joy, improved health, and lasting satisfaction.
There are things inside of me that I didn't even know I had. And when I'm around Dr. Trimm, she knows how to pull them out. She knows how to empower me.
As a best-selling author, renowned teacher, mentor to major global corporations, and empowerment motivator to some of the most successful people in the world, Dr. Cindy Trimm walks you through the process of promotion and identifies the key elements needed to unlock the breakthrough ability that exists within you. Everything you need is available today when you put these principles to work in your life. Instead of struggling to get ahead or simply making ends meet, imagine tapping into the power to make everything around you work for you, propelling you toward your destiny and a higher level of living.
Everything just worked together, just started to fall into alignment.
And as part of this exclusive offer, you'll also receive Dr. Cindy's popular book, The Prayer Warrior's Way. Since time began, a divine conversation has taken place, and it's time for you to join in. In this practical guide to prayer, you'll be empowered to plug in and talk with God like never before.
In the Prayer Warrior's Way, I'm going to show you how to engage God just like Jesus did. This is a practical step-by-step guide, and I'll show you how to talk, to hear from God for yourself, and how to get the real results in your life through prayer.
Let Dr. Cindy Trimm lead you to a greater level of intimate and effective prayer by giving you the keys to join the most important conversation in the universe. Both the special message Breakthrough and the in-depth book, The Prayer Warrior's Way, are yours with your gift of only $30. Perfect for your personal devotion and study or for a loved one who's ready to get more out of life. This power-packed system will give you the tools to break every barrier and to remove every hindrance holding you back from all that God wants for you. The first step to your new life is simply picking up the phone. Call now and let Dr. Cindy know you're ready to make a change and take your life to the next level right now.
To empower you means that you get in the driver's seat. Compete with yourself